This is Dave at AFX Search Investigators in Palm Beach, Florida. A lot of clients ask us, how do you find assets that have been concealed or been set away from visibility in an asset recovery case? First thing is, when you're looking for concealed assets, an investigator that's experienced in this field, don't look directly for the assets. What you want to do is you look for a direction to the assets. I like to look at it as like looking for rabbit tracks and then finding the rabbit. It's a needle in a haystack type search. Examples could be interest payments on an account. It could be finding account fees that are paid to maintain an account. It may also be a trust agreement if assets are placed in a trust, even in a third-party name. A lot of times if it's a non-cash asset, for example, a vehicle, real estate, or some other tangible asset that's not in the debtor's name, what we'll look for is payments for taxes, payments for homeowner association, payments for maintenance, because even if that asset is placed in another person's name, that other person is not going to want to pay the fees on it if it's not really their asset. So we're going to look for small payments that may not by themselves indicate huge assets or income, but may lead to something else. Another example is insurance. If a person has a vehicle, a piece of real estate, some other asset that's been placed in a fraudulent transfer in another person's name, the debtor may still be paying that insurance somehow. They're probably not going to be writing a check from their main account, but somehow they're going to take care of that insurance so that third party is not responsible for the expense. The other thing we're going to do is look at prior closed accounts. We're going to look at accounts that the person had prior to becoming a debtor. We may go back 4, 5, 6 years, 10 years sometimes, and find accounts or assets they had. If an account's been closed out, even if it had a very small balance at the very end, most judgment debtors who are greedy, who are hiding assets, even if it's that last few $100s, they're going to want to put that somewhere where they can keep it. They're going to close it out and transfer it to this hidden account or to this hidden source. You may find that in one case, there was a client who was searching for assets from a debtor, somebody had a judgment against, and we found a $280 account that this debtor had 5 years ago. Well, that account was closed out. Well, where did that last payment go? It turns out that the account was closed out, a certified check was given to this debtor. The debtor went to a casino and bought chips. Well, this particular debtor is not a frequent gambler, so we went back into their history and found that over the next 2 years they had purchased over $80,000 worth of chips. And what they would do is they would buy the chips from their account, go in and pretend like they were gambling, and at the end cash out small amounts so they weren't reported, and that's how they lived off the chips that were being cashed out. That was their income that they used to live off. So the bottom line is that asset recovery is a very specialized field. As an investigative agency, we don't work on criminal defense, workers' comp cases. We specifically deal with financial crimes, fraud, asset recovery, some higher-end divorce cases, because you have to be specialized and know how to find assets that are very highly concealed by sophisticated debtors.